Petersfield's Shine Radio.
In the local news, campaigners in Petersfield want an end to the use of pesticides by local councils. An independent store in our town has beaten off stiff competition to win a regional award. Why our local dark skies should give us a spectacular show of lights this month. And city-based property experts name Petersfield as an ideal place for Londoners to move to. I'll have details of those Petersfield stories after the national and world news.
Serving the Petersphere with a brighter mix of great music and local information. This is Petersfield's Shine Radio.
Arrivals from France will no longer need to quarantine if they're double jabbed. It comes as the travel list has been updated, with Germany and Austria among 7 countries being added to the quarantine-free green list. It's also been announced that from the 12th of August, the rate for solo travellers required to stay in a quarantine hotel will rise from £1,750 to £2,285. 16-year-olds will be offered a first COVID jab in a matter of weeks and will not need the consent of their parents to get a vaccine. Health Secretary Sajid Javid supported the JCVI advice.
This is absolutely the right thing to do for all 16 and 17-year-olds. Of course, there's no compulsion in this, like all our vaccination offer, but we want to make sure that all the best information is available and that we are doing all we can together to build this wall of defence. 2 in 5 Premier League players received abusive messages on Twitter last season. That's according to new data from the Professional Footballers Association. They monitored levels of abuse on the platform and found of the 400 Premier League players who have a Twitter account, 176 of them received abusive messages. And a formal announcement on whether the Rugby League World Cup will be postponed for a year is expected later today. Scotland's Police Chief Constable Ian Livingston says preparations are well underway for COP26. The global event in Glasgow will focus on climate change and environmental issues. He says it has the potential to be a tough event to police.
It's got the potential to be the biggest UK policing event. For a start, it's over a 15-day period. We're expecting almost 150 world leaders. And of course, over that period, we still need to police the communities of Scotland.
And finally, Ofcom say the average UK adult watched more than 5 hours of television and video content per day in 2020. The broadcast watchdog added that amid the pandemic, the number of streaming subscriptions rose by 50% to 31 million. That's the latest from Radio News Hub. I'm Peter Reid.
Petersfield's local news.
I'm Harrison RB at Petersfield Shine Radio. Campaigners are urging Hampshire County Council not to spray weed killer in Petersfield. They say 400 people have signed a petition against the work that's planned for next week. Campaigner Julie Yardley believes the use of pesticides is unnecessary.
There's no need for pesticides. I'm not asking that the council don't maintain the weeds. I like to call them wildflowers, but there are places where they shouldn't be in the gutters. They then block the drains and on the edges of the pavements. There are alternative methods that don't use chemicals at all.
Well, Shine Radio asked the council to respond. Councillor Rob Humby, who's responsible for the environment, said the treatment is now undertaken on foot and herbicide is applied as a spot treatment only to weeds on hard surfaces and not on grassed areas. An independent Petersfield shop has won a coveted award. Just 1 week after its first birthday, Bambino Baby in Page's Court collected the prize for Best New COVID Business in Hampshire and the Isle of Wight. The awards were organised by lifestyle website Muddy Stilettos. Shop owner Romy Hunt says the award should help her grow her business.
The main thing is the publicity. I think so many people come in and they say, oh gosh, I wish I'd known about you when my babies were littler or with my older children. I wish you'd been here. So I think it's just making people aware that I'm here and that I can help them. And that's the really big thing that I get through having the award. Obviously, social media is great for advertising things. So being able to say, look, I've got this award, then pushes the name out to other places so people start to hear about me.
Dark skies around Petersfield promise a spectacular nighttime show this month. The peak of the Perseid meteor shower, coupled with a new moon, make ideal conditions to see shooting stars and more this August. Dr. John Mason of the South Downs Planetarium says we have the Swift-Tuttle Comet to thank for this nightly show.
Every time the comet has been going round the solar system for thousands and thousands of years, it's laid down this dusty trail. And every August, the Earth ploughs through that dusty trail. The grains of dust burn up in the atmosphere. They're coming into the atmosphere at 135,000 miles an hour. The trails are visible as these lovely streaks in the sky. And if you've got a really good, clear, dark night, and there's going to be no moon around this year to spoil the show, which is good news, you can see maybe 30, 40 meteors an hour.
And there's more from Dr. Mason this morning on Shine Radio. Petersfield has been picked out as an ideal place for Londoners to move to by a city-based property expert. Journalists who specialise in property reporting for the My London website have placed Petersfield first in their list of Hampshire locations for commuters. They say the lockdown period has caused many Londoners to reappraise their living choices, and many are valuing more space and larger gardens now. The writers describe East Hampshire as the perfect scenic blend of coast and country, decorated with charming villages. Councillor Leslie Farrow is quoted in the piece. She says Petersfield became a popular destination point for out-of-towners during the COVID lockdown, and that Londoners are continuing to come here because we are only just over 1 hour by train. All this activity has pushed up property prices. Rob Price of Homes Estate Agents says prices have risen between 8 and 10% since the pandemic started. He says some local people find it hard to compete with Londoners for property because they often have more spending power.
Petersfield's weather with Hector's Menswear. Stylish clothes and accessories for all weathers.
Good morning, Emily here with the weather. We can expect a fine and bright start to Thursday with a light breeze. The cloud cover will increase as the day goes on, and the breeze becomes stronger and fresher, leading to showery rain through the afternoon. The showers could be heavy and thundery in places. Temperatures around average with highs of 20 degrees. Looking ahead to the weekend, the unsettled weather is due to continue for the most, with Sunday perhaps being the drier day. For those who long for the sun again, I have heard a rumour that another heatwave might be on the way soon.
Travel news from across the Petersphere.
OK, well, starting with the good news, the work on Dragon Street is finished now, so no more temporary traffic lights and no more digging. As of last night, the pedestrian crossing by Duet was still not operational, though, so take care if you're crossing there today. In Rogate, there's work planned on Fining Lane outside Cherry Tree Cottage. It's to repair a pothole and shouldn't take more than a couple of hours, but will disrupt traffic while the work is done. Near Langrish on the A272 Winchester Road, there's drainage repair work taking place this week, so check the yellow warning signs for the exact times the crews will be there. They'll be flailing back the vegetation to clear the ditches. South East Water is working on Sussex Road in Petersfield from today with two-way signals there. And on the trains, no engineering work is planned for today, tomorrow or the weekend. Good news all round. But if we're not saying what you're seeing, just let us know and help us update this information for everyone. Call Petersfield 555 500 or email team@shineradio.uk.
Rise and shine with Petersfield's Shine Radio.
Rise and shine. Whatever local information comes in, you'll be the very first to know.
You'll feel those ribs expand. And
okay, I'm doing it.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome back to Rise and Shine. You're with Alan Coss this morning.
What could be better?
Good morning. It's good to be with you.
I'm Harrison RB. It's the brighter way to start your day in the Petersphere.
As long as you're breathing, you're doing okay.
I'm with you, Vicky.
Rise and shine, weekday mornings from 6 with Petersfield's Shine Radio.
I think that's lovely.